Pleased to be joined by the 14th ranked women's UFC flyweight, Maycee Barber. Maycee, great to see you up against Miranda Maverick this weekend. Really interesting fight, 13 against 14. Is this something you saw coming and a fight that intrigues you?
Honestly, I mean, I didn't really know who they were going to put me up against. Just because, I'm coming off a loss, and two, I was not really like talking to them about who was next because we didn't really know which way we were going to go. So I was just really focused on coming back from my knee injury, and now I'm just focused on what's ahead of me, and this is who they put me up against, and I feel like it's a good fight. It's fitting, obviously, because we are 13 and 14, so I'm excited and I'm ready to go.
How's the knee feeling? Are you feeling good? And the preparation's been solid for this one?
Oh yeah, the knee, I didn't even think about my knee at all ever since my last fight. Like, even in the camp, I think I know I sorted all that out. So the knee has felt amazing, and training's been great, and yeah.
I think everyone's always known how talented you are ever since you come to the UFC from LFA, undefeated. You've been here since 2018 in the UFC. Do you feel like a wiser fighter now? Do you feel like you've had time to get your feet under the table? Do you feel like nice and settled in and maybe more mature than you've ever been?
For sure. I've come in through, I've had a loss, I've had an injury, I've had wins, I feel like I've kind of seen a lot. I've had really tough fights as well, like some good opponents. JJ Aldrich, I fought her, she was a solid opponent. Alexa was obviously a solid opponent. Like all these girls, they're not just people that nobody's heard of. So I definitely have the experience, and I feel like I've come in and just training, I've had a lot of experience as well. So I've been in a lot of different gyms.
Who's been the most important figure, do you think, in your career in terms of influencing you? I know you've had your dad there, Ben Askren, Duke Rufus, some really important kind of personalities there.
Honestly, I can't just give you one because I have been around so many people, and I've had so many influential people in my life. Obviously my family is a huge part of my success and who I am, and then also teammates, training partners, friends, family, coaches, every single person, and there's not just like one that's going to stand out more than the others, because I feel like everybody has helped me a lot on this journey, and there's going to be plenty more. So just going to continue on from here.
Your arrival at flyweight was kind of a nice breath of fresh air. Do you think that the division needs a little bit of fresh blood, a little bit of star power in a way?
Okay.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Got it.
Your arrival in the flyweight division was quite exciting to have someone come in undefeated and somebody new, somebody young. Do you think the division needs a bit more star power with Valentina being so dominant?
I feel like all the divisions, can always benefit from more star power. The more eyes, the more fans. The more fans that we have, the more eyes and fans the UFC has, and it goes both ways. So I feel like the division specifically, I feel like the 125 division is definitely in need of it. But at the same time, that's just us as a sport in general. I feel like everybody could use more. There. Like,
yeah, sorry. Yeah, it just froze for a second.
Yeah, you want me to just answer the whole question again?
Yes, please.
I was just saying that, really basically, I feel like all the divisions could benefit from, more stars coming in, more personalities, more names, and like more attention. It benefits both the UFC and the fighters.
Your goal from the start has always been the belt. Given how crazy dominant she's been, do you think it's inevitable that Valentina is going to be the one holding it when you eventually get there?
I feel like she will if she doesn't decide to retire. I feel like she could be the one, and we'll be ready when that time comes.
How impressed are you with her and her dominance?
I mean, there's no denying, she's a dominant champion, and technically, I've been around her and trained around her a little bit. She's just on a level where these girls can't catch her right now, and it's going to take someone special and someone who is just as dedicated, just as determined, and just as skilled, if not more.
How happy are you at flyweight? I know you began your career at strawweight, and on your bio it has both on there. So is it something for the future for you? Might we see you kind of doing a little bit of both divisions, or are you 100% focused on flyweight for the foreseeable?
Obviously, for this fight, I'm 100% a flyweight. But I could see myself, getting a little bit more dialed in. The whole reason why I changed from 115 to 125 was because the way that I had cut to 115 was not ideal, and it wrecked my metabolism. So I had to move up. I was forced to move up to 125, and obviously I can fit at 125 well. That's probably where I walk around normally at. But I could also see myself going back down to 115, for the right fight, in the future.
Before the Roxy fight, you were just savaging people with ground and pound. Are you looking forward to getting back to that in this fight and just getting that finish again?
Yes, I am. I'm very much looking forward to that. I am so excited for this fight, and I just can't wait.
Is there anything else new that you've been working on for this one?
Honestly, everything. We've been really working on the striking, the ground, the wrestling, a lot of mental training, just overall, coming through the sport, I've learned that you can't just focus just on one thing. So you've had to, you have to evolve all the way, because the sport is constantly evolving, and everybody's going to be good everywhere.
What do you think is the one piece of advice you would have given yourself when you came from LFA? What do you think you've learned in your time in the UFC so far?
Dang, that's a good one. I feel like in my last two fights, I got a little bit more nervous than I did excited, and I think I started to let that pressure build. I think what I would say is keep the pressure, but also learn how to use it to your advantage, and to become at peace with it, because every single fight, I feel like I go through the same process, you get a little bit of excited energy, and then you go through a little bit of butterflies, and then you have the fight happens, and you feel on top of the world, and then you're like, oh, that was no big deal, and then you're like, let's do it again. So it's I feel like learning how to just channel that energy and be more at peace with all the emotions and all the energy that comes in, and using that to your advantage. I feel like that's something that I would definitely tell myself is learn how to just embrace it and enjoy it.
There should be some good buzz surrounding you being back in action. Also, the main event, Corey is a fan favorite. TJ has a big following. How do you see that main event going between TJ and Corey?
No, I've been so focused on my own fight that I didn't even really think too much about theirs. I like them both. I feel like they're both exciting fighters to watch. TJ is obviously coming back. He's been off for quite some time, so it'll be interesting to see how he comes back. But Cody's been on a tear, so I'm excited to see how Cody does as well.
Who do you think is the most exciting?
I messed it up.
Who do you think is the most exciting fighter on the planet right now?
Well, it's gonna be me Saturday night. I'm not sure. I feel like there's a lot of pretty exciting fighters, a lot of good personalities, and every single fight is different. So, 1 week you watch someone do some crazy move, flying knee, and the next week you watch someone with a vicious KO with just a hand, So they're both exciting.
Is there anybody personally that you look up to and that you like to take inspiration from?
Currently I don't have a lot of just idols right now. I feel like I picked that up from a lot of different athletes. There's a lot of different professions and sports that you can just pick up from their mentality.